obviously Jack's here, so we're going to start with the broadcast and radio section first. And no embargo on this, but
how you doing?
If we just do no live tweeting, we'll wait until the refreshments finish before you guys get it out, and then we'll go to a separate written section after the broadcast and radio guys are finished. So, someone's ready first if you want to lead.
Hi Jack.
Hi, I'm good, thanks.
Are you ready? Are the team ready?
Yeah, we are. It's been a good pre-season. Obviously a bit of a shorter one than normal, I think, with obviously the World Cup and stuff in the winter, but lads came back fit, and you know it's been good. And
how has it been sort of integrating everyone? There's been a big turnover in terms of players. How are you all gelling together?
Yeah, it's been fine. The managers obviously spoke a lot about trying to keep the momentum that we had obviously from last season, which I think is important for any promoted team. But any new player coming in, even last season, it was easy to get them involved and get them ready to what we do and what we want, and it's been no different this season really.
I think from the outside it's raised some eyebrows, it's got people talking, and the amount of players you brought in, does that bring extra pressure on you, expectation as a team?
I don't think so. I think it's just, you know, especially for us, the club and the fans, it must be good for them to see that the owners, you know, really backing the team and backing the manager, and we know obviously we're stepping up in level in the Premier League, and you've got to add to what we had. We've got a good core. We've obviously lost players who were on loan, who did really well for us, so it was key to try and replace that, and you know the manager's identified what he thinks we need, what he wants, and I think a big thing for him is the character of the player as well, and I think that's helped in the transition, and obviously people falling into place really.
What's Jesse Lingard added to the dressing room?
You know, Jesse's a good lad. For us, he's just another player, obviously. Probably for the fans and stuff like that, he's the type of name that they probably would never expected to come here. He brings a huge amount of experience in terms of the Premier League. He's coming from a big club, obviously in Manchester United. Same with Dino, so that's going to help us as well. It's going to help with lads who haven't experienced this level, and I mean mainly he's a top player, so that's only going to help us.
How do you reflect on your time at Newcastle, and how did you feel when the fixtures were first released? First fixture, opening weekend. Yeah,
to be fair, I hadn't seen it. I was getting a few texts off friends and family saying, "Have you seen the first game?" I was like, "No," so I had a look and seen it. In terms of my time there, I enjoyed it. Obviously, we had 2 seasons in the Premier League. Relegated the second season, which was difficult, but we then bounced straight back and got promoted. And even the season in the Championship there, the fans were unbelievable, to be fair. We were selling out stadiums, we were taking 5,000–6,000 away from home, and that's what it's like up there, the live and breathe football. Obviously the way it ended for me wasn't how I would have liked to have left, but that's football, you get on with it. But in terms of me, in terms of it being the first game, it's just another game. Like I say, I've had people text me and maybe expecting me to be, you know, buzzing for the game and all that. It's just another game. Just
finally from me, just a reflection on news we had yesterday in terms of the players won't be taking the knee at every game now this season. Was that a big discussion you all had as a team going forward into that meeting to decide that?
Yeah, obviously Joe, obviously being captain, kind of put it out there and got feedback from the lads. Everyone's got different opinions. I think obviously we've been doing it now for over 2 years. It's something that I think not everyone agrees with in terms of wanting to take it or not take it, or take it, sorry. But I think for us, we stand by and support anything to do with discrimination and helping that. And I think as players, we'll always try and do what we can. I think it's probably more for the bigger platforms to do a bit more in terms of what they can control, and because that's not quite happening, where people can still set up an account online and abuse people and get away with it. So maybe they need to start taking a bit more responsibility.
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jack, The sense of excitement amongst the fans is at fever pitch. I mean, what's it like for the players, given the way that you've returned to the Premier League and all the expectation and history of this club?
It's good, everyone's excited, everyone's ready to go. Obviously, we've just got to prepare like any other season. We know it's not the same. We need to obviously enjoy what we did last season and appreciate that, but also not forgetting that, also move on from it. And what happened last season was fantastic for the club, for the area. Even noticing it just driving around, you're seeing a lot more fans are out with the shirt on, and I think we've made the fans proud here. And it's about backing that up, really. You know, we're not here just to have a little swan song season in the Premier League. We want to come here and compete, and it's what we'll be trying to do.
When you look at the predictions, as you say, people just expect teams that are promoted. Survival is all they're hoping for. But you get a sense, there's a sort of statement of intent with the signings and with Cooper at the helm. I mean, what's the message been from the manager going forward? I know last season it was like, we're going to get out of the bottom three, we're going to go for promotion. And I mean, what's been his message to the players, given all the new additions going forward now?
Yeah, the message has been kind of what I've just said in terms of he wants to compete. He believes he's good enough at this level as a manager. Obviously, he said himself, it's his first time in the Premier League, but he fully believes he's where he should be. In terms of last season, we did that where we just took it step by step. When he first came in, obviously we were in a bad spot, and then we took small steps forward and ended up obviously going up, which was amazing. But I suppose we can only do that this season, take each game as it comes, and try and do as well as we can. But like I say, we're not here just to take part and make the numbers up. We've signed obviously a lot of players, quality players, and I'm sure the fans are expecting a good season. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Last one from me, Jack. Togetherness was a big sense of what made Forest the team that they were last season. With all those new additions, is that going to be important that you get up and running and retain or regain that sense of togetherness as a team? Yeah,
I think that's huge. I think especially at this level. You've seen teams who obviously came up and done well. It's like I said before, it's that momentum they bring, that feel-good factor, that those habits of winning games and stuff like that, and you've got to carry that on. And we had that a lot last season, the togetherness. Even the lads who weren't involved or left out the squad, they all pulled in the same direction, because the end goal and the end aim was promotion. And you know, regardless of how much you're playing, it benefits everyone in different ways. And this season, if we can have a good season and stay in the league and aim for higher, then again it benefits everyone. And I think it's one of them. We've got to go and enjoy it as well. We've got to go into games and not fear teams. Obviously, it's a different level playing against some of the best teams in the world. But you know, we've got to show us, and like I said, we've got to make this city proud again.
ITV, Harry? No, not TV.
I think you've already answered all of them, actually, so it's okay.
Okay, you're okay as well, I think.
Yeah, we're
Comment, do you want to?
much as I'd love to talk to them.
No, that's fine. Got your cream on.
There's only a few of us.
Die and breed, are they?
Yeah, fine. Jack, just to kind of carry on really from what Andrew was just talking about, and the spirit that you had last year, I suppose one of the challenges really through pre-season with all the new players coming in has been to try and rekindle that, hasn't it? How have you found that in the dressing room? Is it coming together nicely? Yeah,
the dressing room's good. Like I said, it's important to try and keep that momentum going from what we had last season, but we know that naturally changes, players come and go, and you've got to adapt to that. But I think it's a normal thing in football, where you could be friends with someone for years and all of a sudden they leave and you never speak to them again type thing. But it's just the way you deal with it. We're all professional. It's an industry where you can't stand still, and the manager's key with that. He doesn't want to stand still. He's not dwelling on what we did last season. That's just a start for him. And like I said, a big thing for him is the character of the team and the togetherness. And so far, so good.
Because that is the thing, isn't it? Last year, you know, from that horrible position where you started, it was an upward curve all season long, and I guess you'll be hoping that you continue upwards now, and that Wembley wasn't just the plateau, if you like. You've got to carry on going upwards.
Yeah, exactly. that's what we've got to take into the first game. But listen, we know it's a different level. We're going to have to probably suffer at times this season. We might go, you know, a certain amount of games where we don't get a win because of the nature of the league, and that's normal. You see, you know, some of the best teams in that league struggling for form at times and struggling for wins, but it's about how we deal with that as a group. You've got to be mentally resilient, and I think that togetherness helps in that. And I suppose it's, even for the manager, it'll maybe be slightly different for him in terms of what he's done so far. He's always been in winning teams, and listen, we'd love to win as many games as we did last season, but we're realistic, and it's just about dealing with that and making sure we stick to being us, and that will help us in the long run.
And what about for yourself? I mean, obviously a special occasion on Saturday, but how special is it to be back in the Premier League?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, when I first signed, that was the aim. It's been the owner's aim, I think, since he came here, is getting this club back in the Premier League, and we fell short for a few years, not really being good enough since I've been here. But managed to do it in probably the hardest way possible, and like I say, it was an amazing achievement for the club, for the fans, everyone involved. It's great to see the city buzzing, I suppose, and we're hoping to carry that on and to go now try and compete and improve ourselves, I suppose, in the Premier League. It should be exciting for everyone. And for you personally, special to start at Newcastle? Like I say, it's just another game for me. I love playing there when I was a player. I love playing there, to be fair, when I was at Sunderland before that. I think the stadium's amazing. You go there and it's almost, you know, takes your breath away a bit. And, you know, for them now, that they're in a good space. I think the fans deserve a bit of success, because the time I was there, you know, like I said, they were great, and the atmosphere will be top, and we've got to deal with that, you know, first game of the season. But yeah, for me, it's just another game. Thanks, Jack.
Cool, we're at the written section then. Embargo is 10:30 at night tomorrow.